Ken Lay, Deputy Commissioner in charge of Traffic and Road Policing, has moved to another area. He's been replaced in that area by Kieran Walshe, the Deputy Commissioner now officially for Regional and Road Policing. Mr Walshe is here. It's your first chance to ask him questions, particularly about the road toll. 96 900 693, outside Melbourne, 13 13 32. Mr Walshe, good morning.
Good morning, Nick.
First question, why the change?
Look, we've been looking at where the organisation is going to go. As you know, government has given us 1,700 additional police and 950 or 940 new protective services officers. So there's nearly 3,000 additional staff coming into the organisation. When you add that to the annual attrition that we experience, we estimate over the next 4 years we're going to have about 6,000 new employees coming into Victoria Police. So we're going to have a significant growth. We needed to look at some of the things that we do, how we do it. Ken Lay had been working on a customer service delivery model for Victoria Police. And we needed to progress that further. There's some issues around, what's our culture look like going forward, and it's also the implementation of the government reform agenda for policing and law and order. And also we've got a enterprise bargaining process that we're in at the moment. So after discussions through the executive, the Chief Commissioner determined that he needed somebody to take the lead on all that work, and he thought that Ken's work that he was already doing in relation to the service delivery model and also the skills that Ken has ideally suited to what the Chief Commissioner needed done. And so then it was determined that Ken would move over and work on the business. And that then Ken Jones and myself would work in the business.
In opposition, Mr Ryan, the new Police Minister, and Mr Mulder, the new Transport Minister, had been very outspoken about speed cameras being used as revenue raisers. Now, Mr Lay, sitting where you were, what you are now, a couple of weeks ago, was very outspoken back, saying speed cameras are absolutely imperative. We will keep them, they will save lives, and police will determine where they go, not politicians.
That's correct.
Now, do you think, this is a conspiracy theory, I'll throw it out there, do you think that had anything to do with him being moved aside?
Absolutely nothing to do with Ken's move to this other role. Nothing to do whatsoever. Ken's done a marvellous job in leading road safety in Victoria over the last 3 years. I've got big shoes to fill to continue to do that. I'm as committed to road safety, I'm as committed to saving lives, and I'm as committed to the use of speed cameras as what Ken Lay was.
So you too believe that speed cameras are a primary reason for our road toll coming down as dramatically as it has over the past few years?
Oh, undoubtedly. We are convinced, and I'm convinced, that speed cameras save lives. They change driver behaviour. If you look at the results from the 2010 road toll, and you look at Queensland reintroduced covert speed cameras. They reduced their road toll by 84 last year. They brought it down from, I think it was 331 in 2009 down to 247 in 2010. Now that's a remarkable turnaround, and we would argue very, very strongly, and I know that my colleagues in Queensland would argue very, very strongly, that speed cameras played a significant part in achieving those outstanding results.
Will you be strong enough to stand up, I suppose is the right question, to stand up to any political pressure to try and change locations of speed cameras?
Look, we have a fixed camera site location committee. There's a committee that sits there. It's Victoria Police and the Department of Justice. They rely on advice and assessments from the Accident Research Centre at Monash University to determine where fixed speed cameras should be located. Now, we'll continue to drive that to make sure that we put the cameras where the data and the analysis tells us they should be. I will work with the government. I will work with the two ministers, my minister, Mr Ryan, and also the Transport Minister, Mr Mulder, to make sure that we continue to focus very, very strongly that the use of speed cameras is about saving lives.
But if they try to exert, they say they're not going to, but in opposition they were very strong, both of them, particularly Mr Mulder, but also Mr Ryan, on the fact that these cameras were being used as revenue raisers. Now that raised the spectre of political interference in where they go, either mobile or static. So are you going to be strong enough to resist that and say it's got to be the police that actually do it?
Well, it has to be the police. They're tactical options for us in law enforcement, in road safety enforcement. It's up to us as to where they go. And I'll have those discussions with the ministers. I'm confident that the ministers will accept the position of Victoria Police, that we're about saving lives, we're about changing driver behaviour, and we need to be able to determine where we need to put the cameras.
Okay, well, we'll get on to future policy in a second, but now you've got this gig, you now have to face up to stupidity. And there is so much stupidity on the road, and of course this morning, 2 examples from P-platers. Can you explain the 2 cases to us?
Look, clearly, one of them is an 18-year-old P-plater, had his licence for just 3 weeks. I mean, to say, the mentality of some people just amazes me. He was detected travelling at 160 kilometres per hour in a 70 kilometre per hour zone in Bland Road in Wyndham, and that was about 10:20 p.m. last night. Now, he's had his car impounded, he's received 8 demerit points, and he's lost his licence for 12 months. He told the intercepting police his reason for doing it was he was just stupid. The second one was earlier in the day. It was a 19-year-old P-plater in Tarneit. He was detected driving at 143 kilometres an hour in a 100 kilometre zone. He was fined $508, lost 6 demerit points, and had his licence suspended for 6 months. He was also fined another $119 and lost a further 3 demerit points for not displaying his P-plates. Now, this is the sort of thing that we see from time to time. It's analogous to some of the behaviour we see from young people in the streets around antisocial behaviour. They don't understand consequence. They just have no concept of what consequences are for their actions, and driving at these sorts of speeds is just outrageous. Not only are they putting their own lives at risk, but they're putting the lives of other innocent people, road users, at risk. And we will remain really focused on speed. Speed is one of the issues for me going forward that we've got to really work hard on.
I mean, when this sort of stuff comes over your desk when you've been at the gig, 3 days, do you think to yourself, what have I let myself in for here? If people are going to be that stupid, I'm on a hiding to nothing here.
Oh no, look, I've been tackling the issues around street-related violence, alcohol-related violence. I know what young people get up to. It doesn't surprise me. What we've got to do, and what I want to focus on, is this issue around speed. We've got to try and get the community to accept that speeding is not acceptable. It's not socially acceptable. We've had a lot of work done in relation to drink driving, which we've had great success at.